Alright, that's cool. Let's see Fetty Wap coming back and doing this shit. Alright, video. Kind of like vlog style. Just gonna freestyle. I just had some ideas. I got passionate. To be honest, bro, so we're in playoffs. That's my jacket. I got pizza. Fuck you. You know, I got vape money, but I was like, I don't know. It was just like it was a far ass walk. My my legs buckling and shit. I got so listen. I'm like doing some good decisions, some bad decisions. To be honest, I just didn't want any food in my fridge. So I just fuck it, enjoy myself. Also, it's like I don't want to just go straight broke. After it's kind of nice to have like while I'm having a bad day or something, I can just go out, get a drink or something, just soda. I don't really drink alcohol like that. I don't really think it tastes that good. But Modelo's and like Coronas are really good. Those are really good. I really fuck with those. On some Spanish shit. I guess I want to look at myself. Okay. Yeah. So we're in playoffs. Just did the reverse sweep. It was dope. I just want to address this. So this person is like, why are you not interviewing when you're losing, but you're around when you're winning? Besides the borderline illegal shit, and then people saying that I'm doing illegal shit. It's like a superstar not wanting to like publish an interview with certain media outlets. Like, you know what I mean? Why do I gotta use my fucking time to talk to 10 different ops? They're gonna break my wrist. They're gonna hit up, some fake baby mama that I don't have. They're gonna bring some old flame I have in the call and be like, all right, honey, Chris, you got 10 series per minute, but why did you call this girl 10 times? I'm like, it's a different person, man. I don't know. I just had a lot of love. Like, I'm just gonna be in the middle of some shit. Child princess appears. Shit! I loved you. Why did you do that to me? And I'm just fucked up for a whole week. You know what I'm saying? Like, drama affects me. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When I go up my team atmosphere, with Nats, Peter, KC, Skadoosh, Torero, me. I was gonna say Hoodiger's Glider, and then Fallen, even Casino. Shout out to Hun. I think he subbed in for like a game or some shit. I feel really good. I step into that and I'm just locked the fuck in. But like, to be honest, now people are like, why do you adjust the drama? Why you do this? It's because like I feel genuinely bad. Like I feel this sense of guilt, and like when like bad things are happening around me, that shit really fucks me up. Like I never like to get in trouble. Like, I always blamed it on my brother. I was like, he did it. And then he would get sent to the kitchen by my mom. Like, she's trying to sleep. We like laugh. Like all that shit. And she's like, it was Antonio. Let's go to the kitchen. I was laughing shit. Like, I just didn't like it. It just felt bad to like have that kind of like, authority or that pressure of someone that's like my higher up, like get mad at me. So, when I was at work, I would do a good job. I was one of the best. The community loved me. Like, this is just like, a normal thing I get is just the love I have for people is just kind of, blooms the scene around me. Like, I remember going to upstate New York and I just had this feeling inside of me that like, I'm just really enjoying myself and I'm bringing so much positivity. And the area was kind of like dead, but it was kind of like a college town, because like this was like 6 years ago or something, and I really enjoyed it. It was Troy, and it's just like this big area. It's like it's like a stadium. It's like a natural built stadium on Earth. It's just like it was crazy. You're basically just on top of it, a big stadium hill, and you go lower and lower. It was beautiful, super beautiful. Really made me feel like I wanted to succeed, like I wanted to get somewhere. And I felt like I would bring a certain energy that just wasn't present at the place. And then I hang out with the rejects. I hang out with the people that always have something slick to say, or they slur a lot and stuff like that. And I don't participate in that. It's just more so like it's the competitiveness, it's the drive, it's the people that seem to just care the most about the game. And maybe that's just a lie I tell myself, but generally, like, these are the people that, like, would hit high elo, they'll have the competitive flex games, they'll get me on teams and stuff. Like, I'm blackballed. People are holding grudges against me for over 2, 3 years now for something I said to them in a banter chat, like over something that like they took very personally, and then they would like try to just like out my personal information. Like there's just like really strange people, but because there's the majority of them in this one tight knit community, they're just gonna have to see me in these strange tournaments, these revived tournaments, these tournaments that have been around for a while that don't just listen to bullshit. Shouts to Manashev, pretty fuck with that guy. And they see that like, I really bring a lot to the community, and all the negativity and stuff is just not something that I usually deal with. Like the reason I talk shit like when I'm competing, like I didn't even talk shit yesterday after we reverse sweep. Like it's just not something that I do when like I generally have respect for my opponent, and like they're just respecting me. Like, what he's gonna say? Like, oh man, Glider, you played so well. Like, you really lived up to your name. Like, congrats, bro. You deserve to advance. I'm like, yeah, man. That Twitch pick was crazy. Shout out to Cool Man Ray. From Chicken Riders. Spring season, like winter/spring. Like, shout outs to him. Like, really just nice guy. And it just, I had a pleasure versing him. I had a great time. I'm not gonna say like was he the hardest competition? I'm not gonna say that. Like of course like everyone can improve, but like the reason is because I play this game every single day. Of course, some days more than others, but I make sure to play every single day. I'm committed to this. Like my mom is supporting me, and it's just something that I do and I took seriously, and I've been around just absorbing information from all different angles. LS, random challenger VODs, just random guides, just people that I play with, and then on teams, being on a team and just having, the game losing moment or something, or just not like being completely efficient with my build, and then it's just not enough damage to get me through. It's a great learning experience, and it's something that I've really enjoyed being around. So the negativity part of it, it's like, yeah, like what, you're right, like I should be there, win or loss. But when it's like people that are just saying the craziest things about me, that are playing complete defense for other people, but then when it's something with me, oh, he definitely did it. Oh, that guy, yeah, he's guilty. Oh yeah, fuck that guy. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm just not going to associate. I feel like I personally have my own little brand, and it comes with a lot of passion for League of Legends, and like just a lot of people are like taking that away, or they're just adding a lot of bullshit that's going to affect me and prevent me from grinding as many games. I feel like shit, my mind just goes to other places. Like, I have a huge focus problem around the mid game sometimes, and it's just something that, when drama is happening, I just keep thinking back to that situation in the middle of the game, and, then I just don't flash something, not paying attention to the map, I don't feel good, and, it's just something that, like, I was starting to feel that way rejoining back to the community after the drama that we had. But I stay separated. I, mute certain channels, block certain people, and, while the feeling was creeping in, I just did something about it. I would hang out in my own spot, hang out Tarzan server. I would go to the real League of Legends community in the Discords. Like, I just separated, and I just protected my energy. Because, I feel like I'm not the toughest guy. Like, of course people know me for crashing out and defending myself. Because like it's just, I'm from New York, I'm 28 years old. Like why are you disrespecting me? Like I'm just a man. I'm just a man that loves League. And so, I don't feel like I owe anyone anything. Like the content is the additional part, getting us to talk and be a part of it. Like, yeah, I'd be there, for my team, and do this stuff and celebrate with the community, but there's nothing to celebrate. There's not people that I like. It's people that just really put some weird pressure on me that just, what am I supposed to say? I know you're mad at me for either calling you out and stuff like that, but if I'm not calling you out, no one is. Like, I get it, ruleless, rejects, you guys, this is the corner of the internet that people are just doing whatever the fuck they want. And that doesn't really bode well for someone that's trying to go out there. Like, people find one questionable screenshot of me and they want to spread it like wildfire, and I have to address it in a YouTube video. and explain the situation, because it's like, it's just so hard, to play so, quote unquote perfect, not saying slurs, like not bullying people, just like chilling out with women, not texting girls in Discord anymore, like not really texting people on Twitter, like just keeping it real fucking tame. And if I do flirt, that shit is out in the open for everyone to see, because I'm not trying to hide anything. And I think I got game, I think I think I got some moves. I'm happy to show people, like, if they want to watch, like I had VODs of me in call with, like, a gay person and, a trans, like, I don't care, I'm bisexual, like, sure. And they had really cute voices, they had great energy, and it was great content. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what do you want me to do? Like, I feel like I don't really have ill will for people. It's just like, I'm gonna keep you in check. Like, that just comes with me. Like, sure, you can be in the place that you feel like you can do whatever you want, but some of us have more stakes. Like, some of us don't hide our face. Some of us, have like connections like all around, and spreading, like, and when I'm around, like, people know that I'm around because I'm loud, I have fun, I join VC, I stream, like, and people have me saved on the computer. It's just like, there's just different stakes here, and people just don't respect that. They don't respect that, like, I've tried so hard to just like maintain a certain standard, even like in hell, like in this like dark alleyway of a club that we have, and the group has become, like, of course people have grown up, people have chilled out, and it's been a lot better of a group since, like, people have grown up. But I don't partake in all these things that you do, and people just want to play around with that, like I'm like, damn, like I'm not, man, like, I have a dream. It's far off, unlikely, but I'm putting the work in. I'm showing the results. I'm having, just being real, being open to criticism, just seeing what my team needs, just also just being there and performing. Consistently having great laning phases. Calling out certain things, like just making sure that the standard and the momentum and the mindset is there during the game, and understanding that, like, I'm doing this for KC. Like, I want KC to get a chip. Also for Nat, someone that was able to bring me back into the scene and give me a team, to compete and have fun in. It's been a great journey. Of course, I would love to practice more, and we just have more of a stable roster. But this is like the first team of 2026 of young Cali's return. Like, we're gonna get better, and we made sure not to get blown out. Like, first round of playoffs, like we lost the division championship. I didn't know it was a division championship. Maybe I would have played differently, but honestly, I feel like I played serious most of the time. I just didn't have it, just the confidence of hitting D4 again, hitting my peak after 10 years, coming back, and just, yeah, I had diamond, we're here. Like, people that are hating on me, like, were hating on me when I was silver, getting lit, having all this Tarzan clout, smoking weed every day. Like, people just holding on to that image before I was medicated. Like, I'm not really medicated right now. I'm just having some insurance issues, but I'm making sure to stay in the house, manage my symptoms, have the support of my mother and, friends at times. Sometimes when I'm alone, I feel a lot better though, like, because, I have my roster, and I'm not talking about my team roster. I'm talking about, fucking single mothers. Like, I'm talking about these ladies that just give me this, comfort and attention that, helps me get through, like, maybe when I don't have any friends for a little bit, when, I feel like, I need to keep that distance, so I'm just having a better support network. My training is a lot more serious, a lot more hard, I'm finally making results. I just got some advice from Tarzan, just told me focus on CS, fix that champ pool. He told me what champions to play. I'm like, yeah, fuck Ash. He said Jinx is fine. And like, and it was just history from there, man. It's been a great time. And shout out to Chicken Riders. It was a great match. They played really well. They had a master jungler. He definitely was a threat. He got the Rek'Sai. Felt good about it. Definitely showed it. But like, in terms of like the team, I think for the team, like, we just have some front to back issues. I don't think I'm getting peeled all the time. Throughout the set, we got better at actually calling out targets and focusing the same target. That was like really a huge change. Lanes were stable for the most part. Like, Casey came in, he did kind of get blown, but he supported me in some crazy Baron situation. We got clutched up, eliminated most of the Barons in like a 2v4, 2v5 situation. And then, I go and make this crazy play to bait the team into sitting around my Zonias as Kaisa. I try to replicate that in my rank game. I honestly, through 2 rank games right now, it's really super annoying because I'm trying to get Diamond again. I fell out, which is like honestly okay because I need to not focus on my rank and just focus on improving and just putting the reps in. But usually when I hit a new rank, it's mostly about maintaining it. I hit 73 LP, queued up KC, hit loser's queue. Honestly, some of the worst, disgusting filth I've ever played with. Like Evelyn that doesn't know what freezing is. So she never came over to break a freeze, and she's being random and dying all over the place. My Yumi randomly leaving me, going on the behind Eve, and I'm just solo against like some fucking kill lane. Like it was disgusting. It was just absolutely disgusting. Like just disgusting people. Top laner's proxying, dying, doesn't know why he's dying, blames mid. It's just like it's disgusting. But I still got a lot of confidence from hitting Diamond. It was great. That advice really did help. But I have the game in me to rise these ranks, and honestly, I'm not feeling that much resistance in the Diamond Elo. Straight up threw up 2 different pentakills back-to-back games, like, with the same champ pool, like, mostly just Jinx Silver counter picks with Caitlyn and Vayne. Like, it's dope. Like, of course, I'm playing a little couple more champions now just to warm up, for team play, like MF and Kaisa. A couple other picks, too, that I'm sure we'll talk about. So the league journey has been pretty good, pretty good. We have more playoffs. We haven't scheduled the game yet. Recently, I started D&D. Unfortunately, I had to skip it for the match. But the GM was super cool about it, and he told me about the session. It was a great session. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of combat, and that's like where my character excels at. So there's a give and take, and I'll be there, and we're trying to schedule games around it, and it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna make some friends. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna really like D&D. It's a social experiment. And just to kind of get myself out there and not just rely on the same people for the last couple of years. Because I haven't always liked the group. I haven't always wanted to stay with the group for the most part. I like to branch out, meet people, especially like this person is an organizer of tournaments. So it's just a great opportunity, and I'm just gonna help him out, and then maybe in the future, like he'll be doing something cool, and I'll be able to join that. And then, so relationship with mom is cool, family. Actually, a dream. I met my brother again after like 3 years. But it's actually kind of weird because he might just punch me in the face. Like we're not really gonna talk about it here. But that was a dream. That was a really convincing dream. I've just had really convincing, crazy dreams. I think it's mostly just not being medicated. And also when I get back on my medication, my dreams get really fucking wild. Like I die a lot. So, maybe something to think about. Diet. You drink less soda. It's hard. I got pizza. I just really wanted it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So family situation is kind of give or take. Not talking to any of my brothers really, but kind of cool with my oldest brother. Finally talked again after years. Come to understanding. He felt like I was unapproachable. I felt like he just didn't really give a fuck about me at all. I felt like he just came from my other brother, and I was just kind of like the white kid in the room, because my whole family's black besides me and my mom. It's cool, but it's mostly just my mom and grandparents. Occasionally, my uncle, sent me $20 to help me out with keeping my account above negative, which was super helpful because the trek all the way to the bank is across town. Don't have a ride right now. It's super hard. It's really annoying, and I just begin like I had this like bad hip pain. This is kind of like a time capsule. I'll remember a couple of years when I had this fucking crazy hip pain, and it's just been like that for like almost a year now. Insurance and just doctors. I was going to like the mental hospital and stuff like that for, just my medication and all that stuff. And occasionally, like if I had to stay there, wasn't going to an actual doctor. So once the pain hit, insurance like it was crazy. So health wise, maybe not doing so well, but surprisingly without my meds, I'm okay. But I do feel the psychosis, and I do, it's definitely there, and gonna have to get back on it soon. But we're good. A lot of self control, just living life and stuff. This is mostly me. Um, Might even get better at League because it's supposed to help my thoughts out. And my thoughts get kind of scattered. Also, sometimes I have a focus problem. So, managing my bipolar and my psychosis is pretty important. And you guys should get medicated or at least talk to somebody if you're going through stuff or have a hard job, life's hard, maybe heartbreak. Just find somebody to talk to that can actually genuinely help you out, and try not to go for rebounds or alcohol or weed and all this stuff. Drugs, just, try to do the healthy path and get the real help you need. Because it does help. I didn't really like my therapist too much, but she's kind of hot, so, I fuck with it. I love nurses and shit. That's the kind of the plus of reward. I'm just going. It's basically like a mini vacation, and I'm just eating food. Sometimes people are yelling, and the nurses are usually hot as fuck, black or white. So, it is what it is. And that's really it for me. We're gonna continue. We're gonna hit masters. Rankings resetting doesn't affect me. I'm not Apex tier, so I'm gonna make Riot affect me and fuck me up because I'm gonna get there, and they're gonna screw me over with like plus 16, minus 20, or some shit. So, whatever. I'll get there. Masters end of the season, maybe even Grandmaster. I would like higher. So I think I just get more serious about like who I talk to, who I surround myself with, so I can build these good habits. But fuck Go BM because he's always dodging me, and trolling me. I don't know. Maybe I'll tame him and he'll tell me all his secrets that he gets coached. Yeah, maybe I'll just start asking him like, because he's paying for coaching. And then I'll just ask him, like, what he learned and see whatever I can steal and improve my game. So my wave management got better. My spacing is pretty good. Yeah, my spacing is pretty good. Dragon Control, gotta work on it. It's iffy to pretty bad. Somehow I don't even know it spawned. I'm not better in competitive situations, but in solo queue and stuff, and I'm just throwing mid to late games, just getting these people gold and shit, and just getting hit by stupid shit. Of course, I could just get more peel, and my game would be 10 times easier, but I do have issues, sometimes when I'm not getting peel, and just getting hit by stupid shit. So, we're gonna work on that, we're gonna get better, keep the CS up high, keep winning lane phase, not feeding jungle, not feeding mid, watching out for these TPs, and we're getting to mid to late game, just, play a controlled game, and just try to be there for drag, Baron, and just win the game with clean team fighting, and, try to win this watching cooldowns. Sounds like a lot, but it's okay. We're a professional ADC. Hoodie Chris, aka Glider, out.